Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I just reread for the second time the 1997 Goldmine article, The Cars, Shake It Up, Drive It Out by Steve Rosser, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I had read parts of it several months ago, but forgot some of the details of the band's breakup, and when I reread it, I just got that icky feeling all over again. That sense of sadness about what happened to Ben and the way the Cars ended, and the way Ben, who by others' accounts had always seemed easygoing and pretty happy, was really hurt and hurting by the time they recorded and toured for Door to Door, and was unable for the better part of the next decade to sort of unburden himself. Why? Right? Why do I feel so sad about a band that broke up 36 years ago? A band that I hadn't really listened to beyond their first few albums. I keep asking this question. I'm looking for the answer. There's just something heartbreaking about the disintegration of the relationship between Ben and Rick and the way the band just sort of fell apart. How sad it was in light of how absolutely fun it appeared to be at the beginning of their rise. That sense of sheer buoyant energy really jumps out of the speakers at the band's September 14th, 1978 show at the Mocambo in Toronto. You can just feel the hope, the relief at finally making it, the anticipation of what's to come, at what was on the horizon for a group of guys who were on the cusp of something so huge. And especially for Rick and Ben, who had been together for so long and who had experienced the lowest of lows in their journey to stardom. Wow. Just wow. What an absolute treasure this recording is. The band absolutely rocked the house at this show. There was a fantastic energy in the way they played. You can literally feel it through your speakers or your headphones. And hearing Ben's sexy speaking voice as he talks to the audience throughout the entire show is so wonderful. The mixing is probably not the best. I'm not an expert on that by any means, but you can clearly hear Ben's voice stand out on some of the songs in which he sings backup. And what a voice he had. And Elliot was truly able to shine at this show. He was pure energy here. Listening to how amazing this show was and how much fun the band seemed to be having just made me feel sad about how they ended. But for a few years, they were on top of the world. The show opened with Let the Good Times Roll, then segued into Bye Bye Love. Ben was in top form on this at his passionate best, changing some of the phrasing the way he tended to do and just absolutely killing it. You can feel his intense sexiness just by listening, and you can really hear Elliot on backing vocals and his distinctive guitar fills. The rest of the set is a really rollicking night spots. Ben's sexy voice talking to the audience saying, "They say they can't hear you yelling on the radio," as the crowd cheers, in his distinctive tone. Just love how his phrasing is unique, even with his speaking voice. Just yum. My Best Friend's Girls next, moving in stereo, Since I Held You. And then the absolute fire, Take What You Want. This live version is probably my most favorite Cars song that's not sung by Ben. Elliot Easton is a freaking maniac on this. Why no one talks about this song as an example of Elliot's complete guitar mastery is a fucking mystery. This song alone places him in the pantheon of great guitarists, in my opinion. I'm going to post a link to the song, and I'll post a link to the entire show as well in the comments. The fun continued with They Won't See You, Don't Just Stop, love that song. And then, of course, they ended the set with Just What I Needed and Benjamin sounding so fine. And then they came back for two songs for the encore, a really hot take of Candy O, with both Elliot and Ben shining, and an absolutely delicious You're All I've Got Tonight, in which Ben's backing vocals, again, you can clearly hear them, and he just sounds amazing. A couple things. I think it's fantastic that they're playing songs from Candy O, which had yet to even be recorded. I think they sound better at this show than at the performance of that same year at the Agora in Cleveland. I can't remember if they played at the Agora first or if they played the El Mocambo first. I mean, they're good at that show at the Agora, and the crowd's love for Ben and Ben's love for his hometown is so endearing. But this El Mocambo show just has some extra energy or magic. at least in my opinion. It's very interesting to me, the interaction with the audience and how each of the members, except for David, introduces songs. Ben in particular is so darling and chatty and talkative. Some of the criticisms of this band that I've read were that they were not exciting to watch on stage and that they were almost cold and did not interact with the audience during concerts. I, of course, never had the sense to see them in concert. So was that true? And when did that change and why did that change? Because there was some real fun interaction at this particular show. Oh, how I wish the guys had been able to maintain the sense of fun and excitement and passion and just pure fun. The combination of fantastic musicianship, Rick's funky new wave look and quirky lyrics, Ben's hotness, David's hotness, Elliot's adorableness combined with his guitar fills, Greg's synth prowess, just all made magic in a bottle. Of course, all good things run their course, but listening to this show at the advent of their career just hits hard because had they been able to reconvene, had they been able to put their differences aside, before Ben died, I think they could have had a real second act. I also can't for the life of me fathom why, only Rick went on to have a long-lasting career in the industry. I mean, several of his solo albums had either Ben or Elliot or Greg or all of them play. So basically they were Cars albums. And all of Rick's solo songs sounded like the Cars. And that's kind of what makes Ben's solo efforts kind of cool, is that they didn't sound like the Cars. They sounded different. I don't know if it was management or mismanagement or the record company or if it was Ben himself, but damn, he could and should have had a more robust solo career. And when you think of all the performers who didn't have half his talent or good looks or gentle demeanor, and who had longer careers, it just doesn't make any sense. He said it himself. He knew that he was born to be a musician. Anyway, if you haven't listened to the show or haven't listened to it in a while, give it a really good listen. Do yourself a favor, take the time, and enjoy this fantastic show.